hocam.
Okay, good. Now we've come to the end and to the closing remarks. First, I'm going to make it in Turkish briefly and then in English. And in the end, I'm going to give you the time to comment and give your opinions on the symposium. But first in Turkish. Okay. Sorry, Professor Jones. Çok kıymetli katılımcılar, 3 gün boyunca Pamukkale Üniversitesi Yabancı Dil Yüksekokulu tarafından düzenlenen 1. Uluslararası Dünya Dilleri ve Edebiyatları Araştırma Sempozyumuna siz değerli insanları bir araya getirerek bu alanda meydana gelen gelişmeleri, yenilikleri ve sorunları ele aldık. Bilgi ve birikimleri paylaşarak farklı konularda fikirler ortaya koyduk ve çözüm önerileri sunduk. Bilimsel bir ortamda görüş alışverişinde bulunduk. Çok uzaklarda olsak da Covid'in olumsuz etkilerini bizlere birazcık unutturacak, giderek yaygınlaşan çevrimiçi bir ortamda teknoloji vasıtasıyla uzakları yakın ettik. Aynı zamanda bilimsel ve de gönülsel bağlar kurduk. Edebiyat, kültür çalışmaları, çeviri çalışmaları, dil bilim ve dil öğretim alanlarında değerli bilgilerinizle katkıda bulundunuz. Her biriniz alanınızdaki değerli bilgileri ve araştırma sonuçlarını bizlerle paylaştınız. 186 katılımcının her birine düzenleme komitesi adına sonsuz teşekkürlerimi sunarım. Bildirilerde Çin'den, Japonya'dan Amerika Birleşik Devletleri'ne kadar uzandık. Yunanistan, İran, Irak, Azerbaycan, Pakistan, Özbekistan, Kırgızistan, Bangladeş, Hindistan, Polonya, Rusya, Litvanya, Brezilya, Cezayir, Kuzey Kıbrıs Türk Cumhuriyeti'nden sıcak sesler duyduk. Bildirilerinizle bizlere dünya dilleri ve edebiyatları alanlarındaki araştırmalarınızla sempozyumumuzun amacına ulaşması katkıda bulundunuz. Tekrar sonsuz teşekkür ederim her birinize. Ayrıca bildiri özetlerini inceleyerek katkıda bulunan bilim kurulu üyelerine ve oturumlar başkanlığı gelen tüm oturum başkanlarına ayrıca teşekkürü bir borç bilirim. Bunun yanı sıra her gün davetli konuşmacılarımız farklı konular bildirilerini sundular. Birinci gün davetli konuşmacımız Türk Dil Kurumu Başkanımız Profesör Güler Gülsevin'di. Kendisi Türkçenin dünya dili olarak konuşulması üzerine konuşmasında Türk kelimesinin sosyolojik bir olgu olduğunu vurgulayarak Türk kelimesinin dil, duygu, gelenek gibi kültürel öğelerden oluştuğunu ifade ettiler. Türkçeyi bir nehre benzeterek Türkçenin nasıl diğer dilleri etkilediğini, beslediğini ve o dillerden nasıl etkilendiğini bizlere anlattı. Türkçenin 7. yüzyıla hatta milattan öncesine kadar uzanan bir geçmiş olduğundan bahsetti ve günümüzde de en çok konuşulan ve de en çok konuşulmak istenen diller arasında geldiğini bizlere ifade etti. İkinci gün davetli konuşmacımız Wien Üniversitesi'nden Profesör David Harrison, çevresel dil bilimi üzerine durarak kendisi yok olmakla karşı karşıya kalan dünya dilleri üzerine konuştular. Sibirya'dan Vanuatu ve Korun halklarının dillerinin çevreden nasıl etkilendiği üzerine bize örnekler verdiler. Yaşayarak örnekler verdiler. Daha sonra The State University of New York Buffalo'dan Profesör Yanina Brut-Griffler kendisi küresel İngilizce çağında genç öğrenciler arasında çift okuryazarlık anlama ve geliştirme konusunda araştırmasını sundu bizlere. Ve çok dilin öneminde yaptığı araştırmayı, çok dilin önemini vurguladı. Üçüncü günde ise davetli konuşmacımız University of Reading'den Profesör Rodney Jones'tu. Kendisi TikTok ve toplum dil bilim baş konuşmasında bir vatandaş toplum dil bilimi biçimi olarak TikTok'ta ses tahsisini incelemiş, hem platformdaki dilin somutlaşmış performanslarının geleneksel toplum dili bilimsel stil, kimlik ve özgünlük kavramlarına nasıl meydan okuduğunu ve kullanıcı topluluklarının kendilerinin dilin olanaklarını nasıl kullandığını anlatmıştır. Southern Illinois University Edwardsville'den son konuşmacımız Profesör Seren Doğançay Aktun'a farklı dil kültür bağlamlarında yeni İngilizce çeşitli baş konuşmasında İngilizcenin çok yönlü bir küresel dil olarak öğretmeyi hazırlamak için öğretmen eğitimine, İngilizceyi çok dilli bir dil olarak öğretmekle ilgili temel zorlukla değinerek İngilizceyi daha etkili ve gerçekçi bir şekilde öğretmeye ve öğrenmeye yönelik gelecek araştırmalar üzerine önerilerde bulunmuştur. Konuşmamız sonunda sempozyumun düzenlenmesinde baştan bu yana bize destek olan başta rektörümüz Profesör Doktor Ahmet Kutlan olmak üzere düzenleme komitesine sonsuz teşekkür sunarım. Bölüm başkanımıza ve her birinin haftalar öncesinde başlayan çalışmalarıyla katkıda bulunan tüm düzenleme komitesindeki meslektaşlarıma teşekkür bir borç bulurum. Bölüm başkanımız Doktor Özlem Akyol baştan sona tüm ekibe her türlü desteği vererek onların enerjilerini yüksek tutmaya çalıştı. Doktor Hatice Altunevci ve Doktor Zeynep Gençer Baloğlu davetli konuşmacılarla iletişime geçerek onların bu etkinlikte yer almanı sağlamıştır. Özellikle Doktor Hatice Altunevci uluslararası katılımcılarla temasa geçerek sempozyumun uluslararası ayağını oluşmasında büyük bir rol oynamıştır. Her ikisine teşekkürümü sunarım. Gerek tüm arkadaşlarım olmak üzere başta öğretim görevlimiz Özgür Ergül, teknik altyapının oluşmasına çok büyük rol oynamıştır. Sempozyumun gerçekleşmesinin baştan sona her bir aşamasını yer alan Doktor Ayşe Demir, Doktor Cenk Tan, öğretim görevlilerimiz Gamze Koçbaş, Tuncay Karaçay ve araştırma görevlilerimiz Hava Hilal Çelik Ateştepe ve araştırma görevlimiz yine Şeydan Nur Yıldız Çolaker'e katkılarından dolayı teşekkür ederim. Sizler olmasaydınız bu sempozyum asla gerçekleşmezdi. Umarım gelecekte çok daha güzel işler hep birlikte başaracağız, imza atacağız. Bu sempozyumun dünya dilleri ve edebiyat alanında farklı çalışmalarla önemli katkılarda bulunduğu düşüncesiyle tüm katılımcılara, tüm düzenleme komitesine, herkese sonsuz saygılarımı sunarım. Ve ikincisinde buluşmak üzere hepinize hoşça kalın derim. Thank you so much as well. Now, I'd like to make the closing speech in English. And thank you, Professor Jones, and for being with us. Dear researchers, for the past 3 days, you have all contributed to the first International World Languages and Literature Research Symposium organized by Pamukkale University School of Foreign Languages. With your valuable papers in the fields of culture, literature, translation, linguistics, and language teaching. Each of you shared your valuable information and research results with us. We all discussed the developments, innovations, and problems in the field. We exchanged views in a scientific environment, offering solutions to current problems. Thank you, all of you. In our symposium, 186 papers were presented in the fields of linguistics, cultural studies, literature studies, translation studies, and foreign language teaching. Researchers participate in the symposium from 16 different countries. We have stretched from China, from Japan to the United States. We heard warm voices from Greece, Iran, Iraq, Azerbaijan, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Bangladesh, India, Poland, Russia, Lithuania, Brazil, Algeria, Turkic Republic of Northern and Turkic Republic of Northern Cyprus. With your papers, you have contributed to the achievement of our symposium with your research in the field of language and literatures. Thank you so much again. I'd like to also thank the members of the scientific committee who contributed advisory committee. They contributed by examining the abstracts and all the chairmen of the sessions. Then with your papers, I'd like to reinforce that you have all contributed to the achievement of our symposium in the fields of language and literatures. In addition to these 186 papers, our invited speakers presented on different topics every day. We started the plenary session with the president of Turkish Language Association, Professor Gürer Gülseven's speech on spoken Turkish as a world language. Professor Gülseven explained the origins of Turk and also the origins of Turkish language. And Turkish, he resembled Turkish language like a river, which nurtured other languages, which was also nurtured by other languages. And he also emphasized the history of Turkish language, which dates back to the 7th century, or according to Chinese records, maybe to before Christ. And then today, Turkish is one of the popular languages and also the most spoken languages, which ranks maybe the 5th among the languages. Then the second day started with Professor David Harrison from Wien University with his speech on environmental linguistics. Professor Harrison highlighted that environmental linguistics explores knowledge of the environment as uniquely encoded in cultures and languages, with a strong emphasis on indigenous worldviews. Professor Harrison gave examples from a number of languages, indigenous languages, such as Siberian Turkic language, Vanuatu people's language, and Korean people's language, and how the environment they lived in affected these languages. He experienced a lot in these areas, and he gave us some, real examples of these languages in his speech. Professor Harrison hopes that we develop a hopeful vision for a sustainable future that respects indigenous understanding of nature. Then the same day, the other keynote speaker was Professor Janina Brut-Griffler from the State University of New York at Buffalo. With her paper on understanding and developing biliteracy among young learners in the era of global English, research and policy implications. Professor Brut-Griffler highlighted the importance of multilingualism because of the global demand for high-level proficiency in languages. She shared her research findings and pedagogical approaches from a longitudinal school-based study that focused on development of biliteracy among young bilingual learners in a dual language program in the United States of America. The third day, we started with our keynote speaker, Professor Rodney Jones from the University of Reading. And he talked on the sociolinguistics of TikTok. And Professor Jones examined voice appropriation on TikTok as a form of citizen sociolinguistics and explored both how embodied performance of language on the platform challenged traditional sociolinguistic notions of style, identity, and authenticity, and how communities of users themselves use the affordances of the platform to negotiate the ethics of voice appropriation by creatively commenting on and critiquing one another's performances. And the third day finished with the keynote speaker, Professor Saran Doğançay Aktunas from Illinois University at Edwardsville on new diversities of English in diverse lingual cultural contexts. Professor Doğançay Aktunas focused on changes we can make to our approach to teacher education to prepare teachers to teach English as a multifaceted global language. And also she touched on the main challenges involved in teaching English as a prolific language and offered suggestions for future research in this area. I'd like to finish my closing remarks with my thanks to our university director, Professor Ahmet Kutluan, with his support from the beginning, and to the organizing committee. I owe a debt of gratitude to our department chair and all my colleagues on the organizing committee who contributed to today's work that began weeks ago. The department head, Dr. Özlem Akyol, tried to keep everybody's energy high by giving all kinds of support to the whole team from start to finish. Dr. Hatice Altunevci and Dr. Zeynep Gencer Baloğlu communicated with the natives, with the invited speakers, and enabled them to take part in this event. Specifically, Dr. Hatice Altunevci played a major role in the formation of the international leg of the symposium by getting in touch with international participants. I thank both of them. Instructor Özgür Ergül played a major role in the formation of the technical infrastructure. Stage of the symposium from start to finish, I'd like to thank Dr. Ayşe Demir, Dr. Cenk Tan, lecturer Gamze Koçbaş, lecturer Tuncay Karaçay, research assistants Havva Hilal Çelik Ateştepe and Şeyda Nur Çolaker. Without you, this symposium wouldn't have taken place and wouldn't have been realized. Considering that this symposium has made important contributions to the fields of language and literature, with your invaluable studies, I'd like to present my respects and greetings to everyone involved in this symposium and in the process. Thank you so much again. If you would like to make any comments, any suggestions for future, okay, the floor is yours.
Maybe we could ask our invited speakers to have some final remarks, Professor Recep Hocam.
Okay, can we hear from you, Professor Jones?
Professor Brutgrifter and Seren Hocam is also here.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm so excited. Yeah.
All three of them are here, but the only lacking person is David Harrison.
Okay, yeah.
So perhaps I can start. I'd just like to reiterate my gratitude to all of you for inviting me to this conference, and to congratulate all of the people who presented at the conference. The program for this conference was extremely rich, ranging from a whole fantastic range of topics having to do with literature, the study of language in different aspects, but also showing how the study of literature and language is very interdisciplinary and touches on all sorts of important social problems, from human rights to environmental devastation. And I feel I'm really privileged to be part of this ongoing conversation that you've begun at this conference. And I hope that the conversation that you've initiated will continue far into the future, and particularly that we will have the chance, all of us, to meet up face-to-face one day soon.
Thank you so much, Professor Jones. In fact, we owe you a lot here because of your contributions to the symposium. It was an honor for everybody to see you here, to have you here. Thank you so much. Hope to see you in the future as well. Professor Seren, would you like to say anything?
Sure. I like to second what Professor Jones said. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for a really well-rounded conference. I just wish that I lived on the other side of the Atlantic to make more of these sessions, because your session started by 2 a.m. by my time here in the US. So hopefully, as Dr. Jones also mentioned, in the future we will be able to do these in person, so that all of us can really make the best of all the good presentations, which I feel sad that I had to miss. I attended only a couple because, of the time difference, 8 hours.
Thank you so much, Professor Doğan Çayakçınar. Hopefully, in future, we can have this in person, maybe here at Pamukkale University. If I secure this team, okay, forever, I hope that they can also realize it at Pamukkale University. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
DJ, you said who else is also available, from the...
Professor Brutgrifter is here, but I don't know whether she could speak. Professor Brutgrifter?
Yes, Dr. Altun, hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. Yes, we could hear you. We can hear you.
Yes. We are working across platforms. So I just want to echo wonderful remarks that all keynotes just made, and Dr. Arslan, in terms of the success of this event. It is challenging to put all of that together, bringing people from so many different contexts, and you have put, as I said earlier, a truly impressive event, intellectually engaging for all of us to hear from so many different fields on contemporary questions and debates in the field. So truly a wonderful event. Congratulations. I know that it takes months of work and coordinating everything. So once again, well done on every end, intellectual as well as logistical, and bringing all of us into this conversation. I have one suggestion for you. Obviously, we would love to continue working with you, and I hope that we'll meet in person. So thank you for the possibility and invitation. I would love to see everyone. Perhaps
let's hear the applause again.
Perhaps the organizers and the university will consider working papers or proceedings from the conference. If that is something that you would like to undertake, I think that there might be a very nice outcome for all of us to read, whether in a digital form or in print. But I think that could be something that you will might take further, just to preserve all of the work that you have done.
Thank you so much, Professor Burger. In fact, like all other keynote speakers, and with you, the international part of the leg of this symposium couldn't have been realized. Thank you so much. And the diversity of this symposium comes from the diversity of our, organizing committee. Because, in my School of Foreign Languages, we have really highly qualified professionals from various fields. And for example, Hatice is, in the field of English language teaching, ELT, and then Jane is in the literature, and Aisha has, they all have their PhDs. Both Jane and Aisha have the doctoral studies in literature, and another doctor, Zeynep has her PhD in Japanese language, and all the other people have expertise in different fields. So then this diversity is also reflected in our symposium. And as Professor Burger also stated, why not in person? And at Pamukkale University, Denizli in the west of Turkey, a kind of tourist area, very close to the tourist resorts in Turkey, and very close to everywhere. Then you can have a nice chance, and not only kind of an academic event, but also kind of time to relax, and in the beautiful summertime of Turkey. Thank you.
Thank you, Hocam.
Thank you so much. Okay. Any other, Hatice, any other comments, any other?
We're just, we're thrilled to end the conference with no issues. So we're so happy. And thank you again for the contributions, Seren Hocam, Rodney Jones, and dear Hocam, Yanina Burger. So thank you again a million times. And Gürer Hocam, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks. Okay.
Thank you.
See you again. Okay.
Until the next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Enjoy the break.
Thank you. Bye.